starting in the middle of things because I had to edit the video down that much.
That was my name for a time. I didn't mind it.
What's going on? Wait, are you?
I am merely a harbinger of the fall. Although Nyx and myself are now one and the same.
Is that so? Well, regardless, I don't regret my decision. I'll defeat you no matter what you are.
I see. Then you must already know. What people fear most, what they try to ignore. That is what I am.
We know that already.
Yeah, everyone does.
You are what awaits all living things from the moment they are born.
Then you also understand that it's pointless to resist. So why do you? There must be fear in your hearts.
Yeah, of course I'm scared. But it's no use carrying on about it. I want to live.
I'm tired of running. Living means looking death square in the face. So I won't back down. Not even from you.
I will stop you even if it costs me my life. That is my own decision.
I see.
Sorry.
Everyone, get ready! Nyx is preparing to attack! I'm sensing shadows approaching from below, too.
Everyone who's not fighting Nyx should try to keep them at bay. This is our last chance. We can't afford to lose.
And thus begins the fight with the Nyx Arcana. Do not use spells in the beginning of this battle. Sorry about the coughing.
Let's win this. I know we could do it.
Oh, sorry about that. I don't know why I wasn't talking. Okay, so in this phase, Nyx will do absolutely nothing to harm you.
Try that.
I'll explain why in a minute, but yeah, there's absolutely no point using spells. Your regular attacks are just fine.
I won't lose.
Not really much to say for this first part. I tried having everyone just use their regular attacks, but you can't really stop Aegis from using her strike attacks, so... And that has to be some of the worst luck I've ever seen.
I won't miss. Firing!
The moment man devoured the fruit of knowledge, he sealed his fate. Entrusting his future to the cards, man clings to a dim hope. Yes, the Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. Attaining one's dream requires a stern will and unfailing determination.
Nyx has now changed the Magician Arcana. He's completely immune to fire, and he will use fire commonly. This almighty attack is arguably his strongest attack for a long time, and it's honestly more dangerous than a lot of his stronger ones.
Nyx's Arcana changed to the Magician?
Okay, so the thing behind this fight is that there are basically the Arcana system. There are 13 Arcana that basically go over the entire cycle of life. So Nyx will go through all of Major 13. There are 22 in the game. Thankfully, he does not go through all of those. Thankfully, I have Odin with Spellmaster, meaning that instead of costing 40 magic points to cast Thunder Rain, which is one of my most powerful attacks at the moment, it only costs 20. Everything he does is half. Okay, so my plan here is I use Thunder Rain. I have Akihiko go keep using Ziodyne, which is a slightly less strong thunder attack. I have Yukari healing this battle and fighting when she can. And I have Aigis basically just increasing our defense, hit/miss rate, hit/avoid rate, and our attack. As you can see, Thunder Rain's definitely my most powerful ability, or at least for this persona. I have a different strategy for the final phase of this battle.
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. The silent voice within one's heart whispers.
Nyx is now going to change to the Priestess. He will be completely immune to ice and will use ice commonly. Bad for Akihiko. This, in some way or another, Nyx will, at least in one point, target one of your members' weakness, so no one is safe throughout this battle. As you can see, that knocks Aki down. He cannot attack until he's hit again, but thankfully, he's using Agadyne, which... Not Agadyne. He uses the strongest ice spell in the game, which knocks him back up. Mabufudyne, that's it. Dang, it's hard to hear myself think, or speak, because I'm using headphones so that Audacity doesn't pick up my game audio. As you can see, most of this battle is not very hard, it's just beating him down. Also, just a fair warning, this battle was so long that I cut out about half of it, so you're going to see some cuts and parts that just took too long for me. I don't like Aigis' voice acting. It's better than before she became somewhat human, but I just hate it. Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention in the Strega battle, if you get an enemy's weakness, or they get yours, you or they get an extra turn. And considering that Nyx already has 2 turns, giving him a third will be extremely dangerous.
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. Celebrate life's grandeur. Its brilliance.
Nyx is now switching to the Empress Arcana. He is completely immune to wind attacks and will constantly use them.
Something about Nyx
I love
keeps
Aki's voice
changing.
clips.
I've regained my honor.
Thanks, Yukari.
I'll show you my true power.
Yeah, thankfully he doesn't absorb the abilities, which would give him health back. But okay, every single regular form of Nyx has 1500 health. Considering that I usually do about 500, that's not an issue. And I forgot when fighting this that my main character is weak to wind, so... not exactly fun. Sorry again about this, just that this fight was originally an hour and a half long. I also have an item that increases my SP magic points every time my turn comes around, so combine that with Odin the Spellmaster, and honestly, I'm in no danger of ever running out of magic. The others are, however, but I have ways to get around this. This is Yukari's best healing spell in the game. It completely heals something. Well, technically our best one is doing that to everyone, but best single target spell in the game. Okay, the one thing I don't like about Aigis is that the AI in this game gets weird when it doesn't know what to do. Basically, she notices that someone isn't buffed, so she'll go ahead and do it, but that kind of ignores the fact that it's gonna be kind of wasting a turn, but I can live with it, basically as long as she's protected. Don't mess with me.
Don't mess with me.
Oh my... I hate these moves. The break moves remove an enemy's resistance, but it's generally very useless, and because you'll just do normal damage instead of reflect or absorb. And honestly, Nyx has so little health in most of these phases that it is not a problem whatsoever. Oh great.
The time has come.
Not me. Okay, good. Oh yeah, right. He lowered her resistance as well. Wonderful.
Are you okay? Please be more
Yeah,
careful.
I don't really need to use Thunder Rain here, I believe. Let's see. Okay, good. Oh, never mind. What the heck? Yeah, I have kind of bad luck throughout this battle, and it's kind of sad when Yukari's doing more damage in a turn than the others.
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. Only courage in the face of doubt can lead one to
Nyx is changing to the Emperor Arcana. He is completely immune to electricity, which is bad for Odin, the one I'm using. And it's also bad for Aki, so I'm going to have to make sure he doesn't use spells.
Providing backup.
Yeah, as you can see, this almighty tech is nothing to slouch at, and when he gets to the point where he can increase his damage tremendously, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, I want Akihiko to fight, which is why I'm not sending him to heal or support. That'll be later. So at the moment, I'm just, you know, having him do normal attacks, which considering that I made his critical hit rate insane, it's not much of a problem. He does a pretty decent amount of damage. And then he goes and does that, as I say it. Thanks, Aki.
Use this.
Here is Yukari's strongest heal ability.
Hang in there.
If you don't have that, you're in trouble. At least Aegis's voice lines are better than earlier on in the game when they're absolutely abysmal. Oh great, he's doing that. Oh yeah, I brought 2 people in who are weak to electricity just because this is the team that I noticed by looking at stuff and from my own experience is the best team to go into this battle with. Or at least if you want to stall out like Nyx is doing to you, because Nyx is entirely a stall boss. He is just there to basically just try to beat you down with time. And that's cert for you. Yeah, this is Aki's critical hit. The weapon I've equipped to him actually increases his chance of that happening a lot.
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. It is indeed a precious gift to understand the forces that guide.
Nyx is now switching to the Hierophant. This stage is Rebellion and Revolution to raise its critical rate. It inflicts massive damage to any party members that are knocked down by a Vile Assault. Some of these I have to look at the wiki for, which is why that sounded very manufactured. I don't remember every single one, but yeah, this is critical rate going up for everyone. I don't think I've ever seen a critical attack in this part, though. Oh yeah, I equipped Counter-Strike to Aegis, which is actually pretty darn cool. Has a chance of reflecting physical attacks. Now I'm going back to Odin, because honestly I don't want to waste too much magic points. You saw how much that you can see how much that took away from me. Yeah, I forgot to switch him back. Oh dang it, what the hell? Okay, so he's now Lovers. I must have edited out a little too much there. Lovers, he is all about using status effects on you. He will attempt to charm you so that you either attack your party members or outright heal him. And basically, that's kind of what he does in this phase. It's an annoying phase, not a hard one. But yeah, sorry about that cut. I must have missed that when editing. I'm not even annoyed that I cut, I'm annoyed that I accidentally skipped part of his dialogue.
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. One of life's greatest blessings is the freedom to pursue one's goals.
Okay, So he is now changing to the Chariot Arcana. Basically, he will use Power Charge. This is the one I was worried about, where he greatly increases all of the powers of all of his attacks that he uses for a turn. And basically, that's mostly what he's going to do. Yeah, sorry. Some of these are obviously going to be having to look at the guide, because I did not memorize all of these. Always wonderful when you're at so high health that even your healer doesn't need to do anything. I could be using Aigis for good attack damage here, but honestly, at this point, I want the buffs. The defense and attack and all that. Oh, yeah, that's a powerful attack. Combined with Mind Charge, and you see what that did. Basically, the thing about this battle is that you want to get through his final phase as fast as possible. Holy!
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. To find the one true path, one must seek guidance.
Oh, I
amidst
hate this
uncertainty.
phase. Nyx is currently in the Justice Arcana, which means that he is going to abuse death spells. And you'll see, he has like a max 20%, 25% chance of taking anyone out, and you'll see how that works for me.
Hang in there.
Sorry about the coughing, I'm just not going to re-record this.
I need your help.
Ah, I guess. That would have killed me, which would have been a game over, but I have a lot of Homunculi, which is an item that outright, basically blocks out any kind of death spell used on you. It is so useful. I think they did that because they realized it's unfair to have them attack your main party member if it just sends you back.
Don't mess with me.
Hang in there.
Yeah, we're not quite at the point where it gets difficult yet, but this is technically... This is when it starts ramping up.
Persona.
The time has come.
Yeah, he can use it on your entire party. Oh, he's doing it again.
Aigis.
All shall
As you can
perish.
see, these homunculi are really working out in my favor. Because that's not supposed to happen that often. You're not supposed to, that ability is not supposed to be that accurate.
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. It requires great courage to look at oneself honestly and forge one's own.
Nyx is now changing the Hermit. His defensive capabilities go through the roof, and he's able to use darkness spells, which is another type of death spell, so you're not safe in these two sections. Like, I cannot stress that enough. You cannot possibly be safe. There's always a chance that you will just outright die. Always useful to have a party member with that move right there.
System rebooted.
Foul Breath makes it so that if he were to use something like Panic or Charm on you, if you use any kind of status effect, you are much more likely to be hit by it, which is not good. I don't have much problem with it, but it's a terrible thing if it uses one of the bad status elements. Okay, good, he can't use Charm in this phase.
I need your help. I won't lose.
Oh yeah, I think this part was kind of interesting.
The time has come.
Yeah, this is it. You just wasted a turn, buddy.
Time has come.
Which, honestly, every turn that you waste is good, and I'll be actually abusing that later on. Huh, only Yukari?
Yukari-chan is in a panic. Use Quattro.
I think Panic makes you unable to use your persona, so you want this gone as soon as you can. A large amount of this battle is not only having the spells to fight what the hell? It's not only using the thing to fight Nyx, it's also having the items needed to do it.
Let me try that.
Oh yeah, right. In this phase, he is outright immune to most. He's outright immune to most attacks. So basically, the best thing to do is use a strike attack. Oh yeah, this is Fortune. I can't... Sorry, I had a little trouble in the editing department. Another critical hit. Yeah, in Fortune, he outright casts all elemental spells and he's immune to all of them, so if you're not doing any kind of physical damage, you're done. Yeah, sorry about that. Editing this was kind of a pain. So, I didn't catch every mistake I made. I spent about the same amount of time it took me to fight this battle editing. Oh my... Yeah, in this phase, you really aren't safe, because he can use every elemental skill. And if he racks up the turns, it's painful. Sorry about the...
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. Only with strength can one endure suffering.
Nyx is now changing to the Strength Arcana. Basically, it's the same as Chariot. He will increase his damage rate, but this time he also really tries to lower your defense.
I won't lose.
You'll notice that it's kind of telling a story of life that's going on. The Arcana system is basically... Oh, I hate that attack. The Arcana system is basically a cycle of life thing. So he's basically telling a story of how life goes.
Are you okay? Please be more careful.
Yeah, you can see this boss is really more annoying than anything else, but it does get difficult if you get really unlucky. It's weird, I was actually watching a video of someone fighting this Nyx the other day. He actually he used a lot of the ultimate persona, which I have Odin and Cert, who are both ultimate for their respective Arcana. But it's just really weird, as he was much more impaired than I was, yet he had an infinitely harder time. I think his victory came down to luck. It's just weird how a stall boss kind of makes it so that pure power is kind of doesn't always help you. But yeah, we're about at his final form. This is form 11. Out of the 13 major Arcana.
I won't lose.
Sorry, I just cannot talk for an... I don't mean to be quiet, but I cannot talk for 40 minutes straight. I'm sorry. Although I've talked quite a bit, and I'm still on topic somehow. I thought for sure I was going to evolve into saying something different. Yeah, this is him lowering defense. I should be able to get that right back up, actually. Doesn't mean this attack is going to be any different, but still. Oh! Yeah, for some reason my turn order changed here, and I don't know why, because I guess going before Yukari, and that's going to change. I am now using an item that completely restores health and magic. You'll want these throughout this battle. I came in with 7 of these, and I used a decent amount of them. I just cut out a lot of those uses. Yeah, sorry for the awkward cuts. Wonderful.
Firing.
Kind of sad that Yukari's getting all these last hits, since I did not want to attack at all during this fight.
The Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. In the face of disaster,
This is the Hangman phase. He will use a lot of darkness spells. Oh, and he also... Yeah, I forgot about it. Just looking at the guide, I forgot he used this attack. Oh, this attack sucks.
The time has come.
I would like to mention that, Megadolia is an almighty attack. Almighty attacks are completely immune to any kind of defense. They cannot be dodged, they cannot miss. They will always hit and they always do a ton of damage, so that was a bad thing right there. Heck, the ultimate persona in the game, besides Messiah, Orpheus Talos has one of those abilities, and it does like max damage, 9,999. So any kind of ability like that is absolutely dangerous.
I won't lose.
Speaking of which, he can also mind charge this thing, which is a massive problem. Which is when he basically increases his attack power by a lot.
Defense weakened. Please be careful.
Sorry about that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, when I first saw Bead Chain and Revival Bead and all that, I have a little problem reading stuff, it just my mind screws up. I thought it said Revival Bread. So I was looking at that stuff as bread the entire game, and I was thinking, how does a bread chain work? I'm just trying to imagine that, all the characters just eating off of this huge chain of bread combined, and they're all eating the bread. Okay, so that's my first time going off topic. That took me 26 minutes.
I'll show you my true power.
The time has come.
Wonderful.
Argus!
All shall
Oh, good
perish.
thing that missed. Yeah, at this point, this is actually one of my better Persona, because it also has the ability, Yukari has to basically heal everyone to max. But it's also good for reviving, and this is the only time I'm going to use this Persona in this fight.
System rebooted.
Good job, Aki.
The moment man devoured the fruit of knowledge, he sealed his fate. Entrusting his future to the cards, man clings to a dim hope. Yet the Arcana is the means by which all is revealed. Beyond the beaten path lies the absolute end. It matters not who you are.
Nyx will now become his final form, Nyx the Bringer of Death. He uses all the abilities he has before, plus an extra one. Extra two, actually, and they're both absolutely terrible.
I won't lose.
Good thing is that he also has no resistances, so if you want to do an all attack, do it. Oh my... Oh, that attack's terrible if you get everyone poisoned. As you can see, his damage will increase, I believe, during this phase, and...
I need your help.
Oh my word, his defense goes through the roof. You'll see Thunder Rain does absolutely nothing. You don't say, Fuka.
Death.
Yeah, a lot
Nyx's
of the
true
supporting
Arcana is
dialogue
death.
in battle from Fuka or Mitsuru before you get Fuka is pretty obvious stuff. Usually you'd be using her to scan each form, but since I have a guide and I kind of have played this battle a lot, I usually know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you'll see, that's not doing nearly as much. Nyx, the Bringer of Death, or that's how I choose to call him, has 6,000 health. He has 4 times as much health as any other form. So be prepared for a long haul. Thankfully, I shortened the 30-minute phase of this battle to 15 minutes. This was half of the battle for me. Just fighting this one form.
Time has come.
I need your help.
Now at this point, I've decided to stop caring about my SP usage. Because honestly, I have items to restore it, and I need to do as much damage as possible. This phase is the definition of what the stall boss, basically. And you'll see why in a second, because you haven't seen anything yet.
I'll show you my true power.
Oh, great. And so it begins.
Perish.
And so it continues.
All shall perish.
If he had hit... Oh,
All shall perish.
that was a this was a wonderful turn, by the way.
Shall perish.
It's a good thing he didn't use Bufu on Aki, or we would have all been down.
Perish.
Although if he had used Almighty, it would have knocked us all back up, but still.
Please, be careful.
Yeah, he'll do anything he can to make this battle take longer for you. Poison does a lot of damage.
Can't lose.
Thankfully, Cert absorbs fire. Bringing in 2 characters weak to lightning wasn't a great idea, but still.
Igus is in trouble.
You cannot avoid death. To live is to die. They are one and the same. It's useless. The time has come.
Providing backup.
Wait, something strange about Nyx.
I have a bad feeling about this. It's definitely up to something. Have everyone
Moonless
hold their
Gown
attack.
is a
It's too
terrible
dangerous right now.
move for you. He will spam this ability whenever he can. It outright sends back every single attack you can use on him. You cannot harm him at all when he has this up, and all you can do is out-heal or the damage he will send to your way. This is by far the worst part about this boss fight. He will use this whenever he can, and he does it more as his health goes down. Thankfully, there are means to lower what he can do to you. Basically, if you use Akihiko to use debuffs on the enemy, then lowering his attack and all that, he will usually waste turns increasing them back, as you can see. Also, if you have buffs, he will use his time trying to remove your buffs, and usually that can be a very good thing for you. As I said, I cut out a lot here because this phase takes forever. Yeah, he uses techniques, and I believe in some cases he'll outright forfeit fighting just to debuff you and buff himself.
I won't lose.
Like this.
The time has come.
Oh. Yep, Moonless Gown, I'm cutting out every moment of this. He will use this for up to 3 minutes. It will last a long time. Also, look at that sword. I mean, people think Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII is a good sword. What the heck is that?
All shall perish.
That was lucky.
All shall perish.
Oftentimes, luck will help you or completely screw you over in this boss fight. That's just how it
I need
goes.
your help.
You can win this without luck, but it's not exactly a fun boss. In terms of that. I love this boss, though. It's actually really darn enjoyable for me. There's a lot of challenge, even though it's not all about raw power. Yeah, sometimes I don't know what to do, so I'll just use items. It's honestly for the best half the time. Okay, the reason why I did that, actually I do know what I was doing now. I am preparing for something that will happen that happens a lot later than usual in this particular part of the boss. It is devastating, and you want your health really high for when it happens, so... Here he goes wasting turns again. Honestly, the only dangerous one is when he removes defense.
I need your help.
Because then he's doing even more damage to you.
Attack weakened. Please be careful.
Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of worrying. In terms of... Oh, great. Not really worrying per se, but going, oh, when is he going to stop using this attack? This is like the 4th time he's used it. And I cut out a lot. What the hell? Anyway. Yeah, I did that on purpose. Okay, I kept this in because this is amazing. Look at this! Look at that! That was amazing, and that's going to screw him over so much here.
Firing!
It's coming up right about now, in a few seconds, the ability that I was talking about. Usually he'll do it when he has a quarter health left, but I somehow managed to get him to avoid doing that. Probably because of that reflection that I did. It's coming up, I believe, his turn exactly. Because he can't survive another turn.
Hang in there!
This is it.
Nice try.
Let us finish this. It is the path of your choosing. The time has come.
Night Queen does massive amounts of damage and can do any status of ability to your teammates. If you happen to get anyone charmed except for Rock, get anyone in this battle charmed, they will heal him for full health. That Night Queen is very much a matter of luck. And that's it. That's Nyx. That's the Bringer of Death defeated. I'm cutting out a lot of story material here, so sorry, I wanted to get this as short as possible. I wanted to put a lot in, but that wasn't happening.
What the?
No, don't go! What is he doing?
Damn it! Why the hell can't I stand up?
Why? After all we've been through! Stop! Don't do this! Come back! There's nothing we can do?
Don't give up. We have to believe in him.
Give him strength! Take my life if you must!
let him die!
I won't allow this world to be destroyed!
All right, let's do this.